Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another GR Corolla video. You guys can probably tell by the title and thumbnail that the motor in the GR Corolla has officially blown up. Definitely not a video that I want to be making anytime soon, but sometimes it'd be like that. Before the video starts, I wanted to mention to you guys that MBRP has been a supporter of this channel since the beginning, and you guys can go down below, use the link in the description, or go to mbrp.com. If you guys have a car, a truck, snowmobile, or a side-by-side, they have so many exhaust options on their website. If you guys use the code NEMTECH at checkout, you guys can get yourself a discount on your next exhaust order. It's just another way to help support our channel and get the GR Corolla back on the road as soon as possible. I want to say thank you to MBRP for being a longtime supporter of this channel. And with that, let's get right into the video. Well guys, it's definitely not where we wanted to be, but it happens, you know. It's kind of part of the thing of building these cars, you know. Pretty good oil spot. All we can tell right now, it's dripping in between the trans and the motor. Hopefully that's just because it popped a rear main or something. I'm just crossing the fingers it's not the trans. Oh, just another day. Just another day. Just another day out here, boys. Nothing. The rear diff was making some weird noises, so I'm not used to hearing it without the motor running, so.
Oh, yeah. That's cracked.
What is?
The block.
Oh, shit. That's not good. Dude. That is not cool. Yep. Good. Alrighty. Well, we got the motor pulled out. They pulled the oil filter off, and we got this fancy oil filter cutter. Dave's gonna pop that oil filter open, and we are gonna check out to see if how much glitter we got in there. All those sparkles.
Guys, I hate to alarm anybody, but I think something has occurred.
Well, here's your guys' first look at what happened. Got a nice unmarked exit over here. What was interesting though is when the car was out in the parking lot leaking all of its oil, a lot of the oil was actually coming from in between the trans and the motor. And me and Billy were both very confused by that because we were hoping that it wasn't the gearbox, which it doesn't look like the gearbox has any issue. It spins freely. Everything sounds okay in it.
Wait.
Little pile of stuff there. And then when you look over here, got another little inspection hole there on the bottom of the motor. We got a couple chunks here. Some nice chunkage. Yeah, so this motor's definitely donezo. Definitely donezo for sure. We are gonna go ahead and start piecing or taking off the rest of the motor. Valve cover, get the head off so we can see how much damage is on the bottom side of the head. Dave told me to start filming to film my reaction, and where's the piston at?
Yeah. That's the point.
This was sitting right here. This is like one of the stems from the top of a valve. And this one's missing one, right? The lifter is broken. The rocker was wedged down somewhere. It was completely kicked off. That's the only one. No.
Yeesh.
Usually valves just bend, but
Yeah. And you can see
the seats are gone too?
like see through.
Shattered. That is, yep.
It is a lot worse And we were thinking, one thing I'm just noticing right now is the pin is still, you can still spin it. It's free, dude. Like, so that didn't lock up or anything, you know?
Which means that the piston literally just
Exploded.
into a million pieces.
No. Why did it explode? Did it actually drop a seat, hang a valve open, and just wha-bam? From all the stuff we see on the forums and rumors and whatnot, fully was expecting to see a rod kicked out the side or something.
Right.
And as you can see, there is no problem with the rods.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we have it. We got the engine up on a engine stand. Me and Billy over there are pulling it apart. Oh, dude. Dude.
Hey, there's your piston.
Oh. Yeah, we're going to have to flip that over. Yep, I would say that that's piston number 3 for sure.
Yeah, that looks the piston.
Yep. Got some rings. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh. Dude, it's everywhere in there. Look at how big this hole is. It's a nice windage tray.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
baffled.
Make sure that the oil doesn't stay in the head or the block.
Yeah. Something.
Yep.
Oh.
Just
Just a couple pieces.
stuff falling out. Versus ultra black everything. Just pull it off. Oh my God. Bro, look at how much stuff is in there. Dude, what is that?
That's your piston. No? Or is that like a counterweight?
Is that off of this? What is, yeah, it is off of that.
Yeah.
This is not light. This is like a solid 1.5 pounds. Look at how bad that crack is in the block. Just random bolts. Look at that valve. You almost have a complete valve that just sheared off, dude. Ah, perfect.
We'll put that back.
Still
in
usable.
We'll
Yeah.
put that back.
I got a full set of upgraded valves for a G16 if anybody wants it. Also, we got OEM pistons.
Yeah.
Well, half of an OEM piston, let's say. You can hear how heavy this is by the noise it makes. Like, that's a heavy piece, dude. Hey. Dude, there's a good piece of the piston. You got complete side, just completely destroyed the gasket. Yeah, see, that looks fine. Still perfectly okay. Spins just fine. Doesn't look too bad. Has a little bit of coloring. Has a little bit of light spot right down the middle, and then darker on the outsides. We still are kind of iffy on what the actual reason of failure is. Of course, you could blame it on a whole bunch of things. Right now, we're kind of pointing to the fact that the valve seats dropped, or there was an issue with the valve seats because on the cylinder head, both of the valve seats have failed on the intake side on cylinder number 3. So Dave's gonna go ahead, pull these pistons out real quick, and then we will get a quick diagnosis of that.
All right, so let's see what's going on here. You can see this wear mark right here, but I think that might have been due to our oil at first just didn't have the right shear strength.
Because originally we used 0W20, and that is the manufacturer's recommendation. Of course, you guys saw, as soon as this car came home from the dealership, it was doing donuts and on red line literally 24/7. So the OW20 is good, and if you guys are driving your car in normal kind of driving conditions, it'll be fine, and it'll run your car till however hundreds of thousands of miles. But of course, once you start beating on it, our oil temps are reaching 260, 270 on a regular basis. we had to go to something heavier, first of all, so we moved to 5W30, and then we actually moved up again to Royal Purple's 5W30, is it called HPS? We actually have to order that stuff. None of the stores around here sell it, so we ordered like a 5-gallon jug of it. You know, from one oil change to the next, there wasn't 4,000 miles. There was 4 times that we went out in the parking lot and did donuts, you know? So there isn't a long period or a lot of miles in between our oil changes. So, you know, a catastrophic or a failure from the early oil stages, you know, when we were using OWB-20, could have definitely affected this, because realistically, from when we put the turbo on the car to now, I bet you the car has only done like 200 miles. Let's talk about Dave's best guess for why the motor blew up.
My best guess. Clarify, this is a guess, right? Maybe some education behind it. This is very unique right here. So both heads of the valves are snapped off. One could argue that, you know, the piston came up and slapped them while the valves were in the open position. We do have camshafts, so probably open a little more aggressively than the factory. But what kind of gets me is there's no seat left in either one. As I understand it, those are a hell of a time getting out. When people pull them out, they almost got to weld something on them and slide hammer them out with a lot of heat in the head. So why would those not be present? Would it be because the valve faces broke off and they got slapped or smacked, or something worked its way from behind? Because it doesn't really make sense that something would have hit these and they would have fell out.
Even when we got the head redone, it's not like there was an issue because they never took the seats out. They just ground them a little bit, which there's no issue with that. I mean, head shops do that all the time. They grind valve seats all the time. So was it an issue from the factory that they got put in, or was it an issue from early on when we overheated the motor maybe and something had happened that way? Or I don't know. And that's almost the worst part about it, is we don't know. There is no telltale sign of why piston number 3 just decided to be a part of the combustion process.
It is said by more than one shop that the pistons in these motors are weak and they would have a tendency to fail before the rods in like a big turbo application. Smaller turbo that lights up faster, the rods have been first. So,
because that's kind of what so like when we tune our car, because you know, you guys knew that we had run into turbo lag before, which is why we went with the sequential, is to try and keep the turbo lit all the time. The stock turbo and kind of the hybrid setup that people are starting to do now, that gets you a lot more low-end torque. It peaks it up really fast. The risk you run is, like Dave said, you run the risk of bending rods, right? Well, in a big turbo application, I would say that we're more of like a medium turbo application. I don't know. I mean, we're bigger, much bigger than stock, but we're still not like, you know, a 1050 or something. You know, we're not pushing 1,000 horsepower. We're making 450 horsepower here. You know, it's a little bit difficult because, you know, all the power was up top. We rev the motor a little bit higher. The valve springs, the valve train, the entire head should have been able to take it. We were gonna make a video here soon about, you know, announcing that we're gonna try and go and compete in grid life and go compete in time attack with this car. This summer would have been awesome. Go race at time attack with the new sequential, and then we would start getting into, you know, brakes and suspension and all this other stuff that we'd kind of go through. And with my mom's car, we'd have the ability to kind of see what a stock car would do versus our modified car. And now we're kind of we're stuck, you know? It's gonna take us, you know, a few weeks here to kind of decide what the best route is. In the next video, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take the stock trans and we are gonna pull this trans apart and kind of go through, you know, what broke, and then kind of the couple different options that we have to go ahead and fix the OEM transmission. So you guys look forward to that. Make sure you go down below, hit the subscribe button, and follow us along, because the Corolla is broken and it is blowing up, but it is definitely not done yet. If you guys have any questions, comments, please go down below. I'm sure a lot of you have kind of your opinion, and we would love to hear it on what happened to the motor. If you guys like the video, always go down below, leave a like button. It really helps us. And with that, this video is officially over. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
50. 5 right opens.